Good morning, checks. It is the morning. It counts. Good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham D, and I'm joined by a man that has a full voice, and his name is Bibby. I'll read Bib.
Ish. Yes, I'm feeling a lot better. Oh my god. Why is Nietzsche?
Nietzsche. God damn it.
Well, good morning, Nietzsche. Massive good morning to you, sir.
If you don't know what's happening, if you can hear the notifications, if you are listening to this on demand, you'll keep hearing Steve Rusty, over the next few seconds, as Nietzsche has just gifted 4 subs to the channel straight off the bat. Nietzsche giving Bilbo Baggins, Lee Beryl Tears, Sammy J, and Lamo, or Lamo. I don't know how to pronounce that one. I'm going to say Lamo, even though that sounds like almost like an insult. But Lamo. Welcome in. Enjoy the gifted subs. If any of you guys are in the channel, do make sure you thank Nietzsche. Just as we always say, if you get a gifted sub, make sure you apply, make sure you say thank you. But Nietzsche, ridiculous mate. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate
absolutely
the gifties. Also, the bit about the voice as well is I have a little bit more bass in my voice than usual. I've just sore throat today. And I'm absolutely not 100% putting it on just so I sound like a little bit more mysterious. And yeah, my name's Graham. This is how it is. Yeah. Also, Bibby did the same thing yesterday on the stream. So if he can do it, why can't I? I mean, we were in the studio yesterday. If you didn't see it, for some reason we had 2 mics that had echoes because we hadn't sorted out the gain between them. Okay, that makes sense. But for some reason, Bibby's mic just had like 20 decibels lower than it should have been. Hey, my name's Michael.
It was like it was in a slow motion or something.
It actually was like that. It was like that. But Nietzsche, thank you very much, dude. Needed to round it up to 25. The 21 was annoying me. To be fair, 25 is not round either. 50 is a nice... I'm only joking. I need to say that quickly as well. I'm genuinely not joking because Nietzsche will throw that stuff down. No. Barry Graham in the house. Yeah. Good morning, NGB. How the devil are you, says? How did your Far Cry review go, by the way? If anyone is looking at Far Cry and is thinking about buying it, do feel free to throw the link into the chat this morning, just in case anyone
I'm on
hasn't
it
seen
because
it.
I watched it yesterday.
What did you think? I mean, is that the one that you was like, this is a really bad review? It's like poorly edited.
I was really looking forward to Far Cry until I watched this video.
God damn it!
But no, all jokes aside, no. Obviously, it's what Ben does. It's a great review. And it's Far Cry doing more Far Cry. What more would you need? Like if you come to I can't really put it better than that. It's more Far Cry. If you liked Far Cry before, you're probably going to enjoy this one as well. But yeah, it's the most Far Cry-est Far Cry you've ever seen.
That's a far crying shame. Or is it? I don't know. Just wanted to throw something out there. Next gen saying, poor joke, need more coffee. It wasn't a poor joke. It was a good joke. Barry Gray instead of Barry White. Although me and Bib did do that in the countdown, so we'd already Barry Whited there. So yeah. We were first, but you were last, and that's everything. Okay, never mind. Madge saying, just one sub shy of 100, right, Graham? Yes. Yes. Although that actually turned out to be the case. I thought that wasn't the case yesterday, but it turned out that it was. It was Tito that was 101. But if it works, it works. It just is. Yeah, so we're on 99 subs. If anybody wants to gift us, well, we're not on 99. We're on 105 subscribers, which is now the highest that we have ever been on Twitch. So thank you very much, you ridiculous people.
Crazy.
Mr. T says the next gen based Far Cry 6 review was a bit revolutionary. We don't. I've got the QI klaxon, but it doesn't really. I'm pressing it anyway. We'll just pretend this works. Yeah, there we go. See, I did notice yesterday that there's a couple of bits. There's a few things that we don't have in the studio because we mentioned this on social media today that we've got a lot of leveling up to do, not just to bring the studio back to functionality, but to increase with. We've had 18 months of growth in terms of not just understanding content creation as ourselves as content creators, but a lot of Twitch content creation is riffing off your audience and creating those in jokes that we know of. Exclamation mark loot droop in the chat if anyone wants to take the piss out of ads. Exclamation mark Garlic Clark if anyone wants to take the piss out of Mr. Gary Clark. Also a new one, by the way. Exclamation mark Shoe Gun, SHOE Gun. If anyone wants to take the piss out of Mr. Shogun Ash Live, feel free to check that one out. But we don't have any of that stuff in the office. We don't have the QI klaxon. We don't have the discussing now slate on screen when we're in the articles and stuff. So we have some upgrades that we need to do to bring our studio experience. Not as I mean that's much more professional, but it also doesn't have that personal touch. So we want to be professional and personal. We want to touch you personally.
Well, that kind of thing, like obviously when we're streaming from home in our stations like this, we're very much like our own directors and producers. Whereas in the studio, when you're behind the studio desk, we don't have the facility to be at the production station, so we'd have to have someone there to be able to bring up the stuff on screen and that, which is a completely different kettle of fish. Like it's at home now. You just press a button. You allow me to talk while you fill it out, and then you press the unhide button. It pops up on screen. It's magic, very much like it's there now with the date and discussion now panel. Whereas obviously in the studio, vMix doesn't quite work like that. It's a completely different kettle of beast. So kettle of beast. I don't even know if that's a phrase. I just threw that one out there.
We'll take it. I mean, if, at this point of the day,
Kettle of fish.
I've got a sore throat. I'll take whatever you've got in a kettle, please, love. Yeah, just keep it coming. Speaking of which, coffee sip. Grab yourselves a brew. Nice.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let's get a new producer. Let's do it. That could be next month's loot drop raffle.
You could be producer in a completely unpaid position at Ice Cream Uploads, where we just 100% abuse you for labour. Yeah, go 2021. Except you. So if you want to be the Ice Cream Uploads producer,
in vMix as well.
Yeah, if you want to be the Ice Cream Uploads producer, you need the background in vMix. You also need weak legal representation, just so that we can exploit you. Because if you've got good legal representation, it's probably not going to work in our favour. Yeah. So we're not kind of on board for that. If we're going to abuse you and exploit you, you get the idea. Anyway, if you didn't know it, at Ice Cream Uploads, hey, how are you doing? We aren't just here to talk about exploiting you as people or as workers or whatever. We are also here to bring you video games news. Believe it or not, yes, that's what we're here for. So this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, we are going to bring you your daily dose of news from the world of video games. The biggest, the best, and the breaking stories. And then we will give you our thoughts and our impressions on those stories. But that's not where it ends. We need your thoughts and impressions. And then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how this works. We do go live on Twitch at 10 a.m. ish.
I mean, we've gone live quicker than we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties aside. So that's a dub, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. It was like just after 10 past 11 ish. So it's so that's 11 is plus 10. So there we go. Nice. So 10 a.m. ish. We go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday. Do feel free to join us on Twitch to get involved in the chat with us. And it's important that you do that because we turn the live stream on Twitch into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, lots of places where everyone watches and listens on demand. If you are watching and listening on demand right now, hey, how are you doing? Enzo saying, wait a minute, Ice Cream Uploads? Graham Day has stolen my voice. To be fair, my voice could be 8 octaves deeper and I'm still not going to get to your levels, Enzo. That if you want a voice that's going to just let you drift away into the world, if you want to just even with shooting going on in the background, just get Enzo on your third monitor, sit back in your chair, close your eyes, you will be asleep in a few minutes because it's like, hey, yep.
Yeah.
How you? Well, it's actually more like
he picks up his guitar.
Great wee willy winky, because that's all I can do when it comes to Scottish. It's just full on stereotypy Glaswegian. Everyone from Scotland is from Glasgow, by the way. There is no in between, and it's not even a good Glasgow accent. Anyway, that's not what we're saying. We were talking about the fact that we are the Scoop. If you are in the chat, like we said, do please feel free to get involved, but also do feel free to type !loot drop in the chat. We gave a copy of NBA 2K22 away just this week. On Monday, Pirate won his first loot drop despite playing for over 24 months or whatever the hell it's been going on now. So 2 years, wee willow winky. I don't know. It's just it's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't know. So yeah, Pirate won his first loot drop after a long old time of playing, which was nice to see. It's nice to see him actually get a win finally on the board, especially when we had so many subs. We have 105 subscribers in the channel now, but I think we only had about 45 names ish in the loot drop. So not a large conversion rate, which means your odds of winning are pretty high if you're in the loot drop, especially when you compare that to other online competitions. If you go to, like, not picking on anyone in particular, but the game collection, they do a follow and retweet to win a copy of whatever game it is. You've got like a 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000 chance of winning. You had a 1 in 45 chance of winning the other day, which is pretty good. So if you're a sub,
what about a player GG one too? They're usually sky high, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like 1 in a bajillion sort of stuff. Yeah. So we do that because it's a nice way that we can give back within stream. We don't mind doing some follow and retweet campaigns because it's nice to boost your social stats. It adds to the decks, which means we get more free stuff for you guys going forward. So it's nice to balance to get some of that sort of stuff. But we like to do the in-stream and community giveaways, particularly because it's a way that we get to say thank you for you guys that subscribe to the channel as well. So ! Loot drop if you want to get involved. We need to lock that down, actually. We're going to do that by the end of today. I promise you now, we will have our loot drop stuff announced by the end of today. So you will know what next month's loot drop prize will be. We're thinking we're going to do the same sort of thing again, have a few prizes to let you guys vote between some games, some ICU merch, and then we'll go from there. That's kind of the idea. As well as that, let me also shout out ! Insert coin, the beautiful people that aren't being represented on stream today. I'm wearing my Twitch, one of my Twitch tops. Bibby's got a rose.
It's All Saints, I think it is. I didn't buy this. Samantha bought it me.
Okay.
I
Bibby
tend
Six
not to buy
Lambos
my
over
own
there.
clothes.
Yeah, Bibby Six Lambos with his All Saints stuff. I see how it is now.
I'm surprised that these guys fat, if I'm being honest, Graham.
I mean,
it was a surprise to me too.
When they make that much money, they can do whatever they want. God damn. All right. Someone's doing well over there, Mr. Bib. All right, yeah. This is what happens when we get to 105 subscribers. Bibby starts repping All Saints. God damn. Also,
got the 90s girl band. For those of you listening to podcast services, I've not got All Saints t-shirt.
I mean, that's what you said, but for me, it's all water under the bridge. You know, like water under the bridge, like a stream, not like the beach. Oh no, they have pure shores. Okay, no, anyway, fuck off. Great.
Moving swiftly
Calm down. One other thing, nobody's typed it yet. ! Shoe gun. I'm going to type it for you because we keep taking the Michael out of Mr. Garlic Clark because we raided MC Fixer. Good guy. We raided MC Fixer. And naturally, when you get a raid and you get a bunch of people that follow a channel for the first time, you get a string of names. So quite often you can mix up the names. Like I did with Lamo or Lemo earlier on. I've probably got that wrong. We did that to MC Fixer with Gary Clark, and naturally, when you're playing a game, you've got a raid coming in, you're trying to engage with chat, Fixer misread Gary Clark as Garlic Clark, so that's what Gary is called from now on. Anyway, Shogun is it going to work? No! Chatbot's disconnected because of the password change stuff. Fuck. Well, I'll fix that. I'll make it so that we can actually use that sort of stuff once we're in progress in the show. Once I've asked Bibby his thoughts and his impressions on things. But before all that, should we jump into some news?
Why the hell not?
Well, Bibby, as a man that has Xbox Game Pass, would you be interested in beefing out your Xbox gaming experience with some TV? Content, TV. Yes or no?
I do own a TV, so why not?
Well, do you know what? That might
kind of throw me off.
I threw myself off as well. I didn't plan to do that, but then I realised, fuck this, I'm going for it. You might be interested to know that Sky TV is partnering with Microsoft on a new Kinect-like camera. That's the lead story of the day. That's where we will kick things off today. But before we jump into that, let's give you a round of what else we'll be talking about. Sticking with Microsoft, there is a new 20th anniversary controller, and it has been revealed early. Also, a new special edition controller and headset has officially been revealed too. That will be the follow-up story. We'll then jump into PlayStation, as PlayStation's Play at Home program saw players redeem 60 million games. Elsewhere, one for Bib, Resident Evil. The Welcome to Raccoon City trailer shows off the rebooted film franchise, and I've heard it looks pretty good. What are you thinking, Bib?
Yes.
We'll leave it there. And then finally, as it's Friday, we will wrap up with your free game Friday, not free gay, free game Friday. That's something completely different. Free game Friday report. We'll tell you what games you can get free, as we always do each and every single Friday. Nice. King Comic is in the chat. He says, hi, boys. Hope all is well. I'll read. Good morning, dude. Next Gen Base says, that controller is, I needs it. All Saints t-shirt. Best not wear that to the beach. Oh, for fuck's sake, great. Hey! So it's all right. Me and Next Gen Base, we're like each other's spirit animal. It's fine. We got this. After those jokes, I need some black coffee. Hey! Pew, pew. Anyway, let's jump into the first news article of the day. This one is a word I like to use when I'm not set on an opinion is interesting. Interesting for me is it could be good, it could be bad, I'm not sure. So this story definitely is that. This one is interesting. Tom Phillips at Eurogame has the lead story. Sky is partnering with Microsoft on a new Kinect-like camera. Didn't expect to see you again, is the tagline. So the spirit of Kinect is being revived by Sky and moulded into the new, yet very familiar-looking Sky Glass camera for release next year. Sky is even partnering with Microsoft on the device's software, which will let you sync your TV with others to watch films, sport, and telly shows in a group while video and text chatting. Thanks, The Verge. It's like Snap never left. And that's if that's not Kinect-like enough, the camera will also offer the gesture controls for your TV apps and even let you play games like Fruit Ninja, which of course also had a Kinect version. Then there's the look of the thing. To be clear, this is Sky's new TV smart camera and not the original Kinect, however close it may appear. The announcement today came as part of a big unveiling for Sky Glass, the company's new range of TVs, which will have Sky built in, so there's no need for a dish or set-top box. During its announcement presentation, Sky also emphasized the use of voice controls with Sky Glass, including the ability to say Sky Xbox to switch your Xbox console input. While the Sky Glass sets are available to pre-order for now, there's no word when exactly Sky Glass camera will debut. But just as Kinect did to you, it's one worth keeping an eye on. Interesting. I still don't know where I sit with this. So Sky is partnering with Microsoft to bring a Kinect-like camera. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Who is this aimed at, though? Like, why? I think the Kinect potentially died for a reason. Like, this is obviously a good thing for people who were going to be streaming in their front room from their TV. That's how I started streaming from a PlayStation 4 with a PlayStation camera. But who's playing Fruit Ninja in the front room now? Maybe kids. I'm far too old to be asked about this kind of thing now. It's a completely different generation, and it kills me to say it because I genuinely am getting older, and obviously people are getting younger. They're not, but there is a completely different generation of kids now growing up that will probably absolutely buzz off this. I was that kind of person when I had the PlayStation iToy way back when. So this kind of thing now. I mean, I even had the original Kinect for the 360. That was cool. Didn't use it that often. I probably played Rise of the Nightmares with it and the default football game that I think came with it. But why is Sky selling this? Like, what is the market for this? Is it families with young kids that want to be able to play these games? Like, what is the USP? Is what I'm trying to get
at. You aren't going to get an answer from me just yet because I'm currently trying to log chatbot in.
All right, okay. Nietzsche says, speaking of PlayStation cameras, you found anyone?
Not just yet. I will just stop for just a second to shout out Nerd Rock from the Sun. Hey, in relation to the LTV program, I'm assuming that's where it's come from. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome into the stream. No, I haven't, but let me shout that out for you. If you're in the Ice Cream Uploads Discord, you may have seen a message from Nietzsche in the Discord. Nietzsche has a PS5 camera, and now has another PS5 camera. So kindly is willing to donate that to another PS5 user. If anyone is in the community, is in the Discord that hasn't seen that message, we know a lot of people miss messages on Discords. So if you're after a PS5 camera that you want to use for streaming, then do feel free to reach out to Nichio, because obviously a lot of people would take a camera for free. I'll take a free camera. But because this is something that someone's owned and is willing to volunteer to someone else that maybe streams from their console but doesn't have the ability to put their face on the stream, Nichio wants to do that. So if you know of anyone that is a content creator that is looking for a camera that genuinely would use it and won't be just taking it for greed's sake, then do feel free to let us know. But as of now, Nichio, no. I haven't found anyone. Everyone that I thought of might have wanted it has actually upgraded to streaming setups, so I don't have anyone in mind just yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, a number of people would be able to just land grab and snatch it away from Ichio, but obviously this is someone giving away something free to someone else. He's even going to pay for the postage to send it to them. How about that for generosity? So don't obviously put your hand up if it's just something that you want for the sake of having it. If someone could actually use it to improve their streaming experience, then that's ideally where it would go. But yeah, back in the room. Okay, chatbot should be running. Let me type !Shogun. Boom. Hey! Shogun Ash Live. Shout out to Gaming Nacho. We raided Gaming Nacho on Wednesday, I think it was, after the stream. He was playing Battlefield. It was Wednesday. He was playing Battlefield, and he was shouting through the names, and he shouted out to Shogun Ash Live. So, Shogun, GG's, mate. Thank you very much for joining us in the stream, and thank you for sticking around into the raid for Gaming Nacho as well. Always love a good Shogun. Kinect is a hell of a technology. This could be a great use of it, but not for me, says Next Gen Base. A TV with a built-in skybox is a neat idea, but that I'm not convinced on at all, if I'm honest. Vern, thank you very much for the alert. Good morning. Yeah, I'm not convinced of a TV with built-in Sky. I am very much a Sky advocate. I mean, I hate the cost, but I'm very much a Sky advocate. We've got Sky Broadband, which is lovely. You all know my opinions on that from when I'm streaming. Although it's actually been really good for the last month or two, so fair enough. So Sky Broadband, the Sky, we've got Sky Q. We got the new router, which was an absolute travesty. Not my words, that was the engineer's words. It needs better firmware. It may have it now, but it was a patch it. We've got Sky Q, multi-room around the house sort of stuff. It was good, but then they improved it and it got meh. But yeah, I'm a big fan of trying new Sky things. We've got most things. The only thing we don't really have is Sky Mobile. Do I want my Sky built into my TV though? Not really, because I've had my Skybox replaced about 5 times over the last 5 or 6 years. Every time you do that, you lose all of your films and stuff that you've got saved up. How do they do that when it's built into your TV? I'm not convinced.
You have to take the hard drive out, shouldn't you? If you're having to change your box and stuff like that, it should be just as simple as it is for anything else. That winds me up.
Yeah, maybe I was a bit over egging it, saying 5 times in 5 years. It's probably 5 times in 10 years, but once every 2 years. You think of 2 years of building up a backlog of films. Like, we just watched the James Bond films, and they were saved on our hard drive from 2019 Christmas. They were all over ITV on 2019. It's like, oh, fuck, as if that's how long they've been sat on our Sky Q box. So we haven't changed it in 2 years, but we've changed a lot of other stuff in the meantime, kind of thing. And yeah, like you say, that should absolutely, if you've not got a cloud sort of setup, it should be a hard drive sort of stuff. But if that's all built into your TV, like, you don't get that sort of service usually. If you're buying these TVs from Sky, are they Sky property? Because your Sky box, you don't own. Sky owns. So when you've theoretically finished your contract with Sky, you should give that box back to Sky. I mean, a lot of people don't. You'll see them on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, people selling them. But you should give that back. How does that work with the TV? Do you give you the TV back? And what if your Skybox dies? Does that mean your TV's dead? Do they then replace the TV? Or is it like a normal TV? You get your 12 months warranty or whatever, and then you don't get anything after that. I don't, I'm not convinced about having a Sky TV. That also feels like a captive audience sort of situation. Well, you've got a Sky TV. You kind of have to stay with Sky now, because you're not really got the option of going to Virgin because you've got a Sky TV.
It was cheap though. Like, Samantha sent me it yesterday. Obviously, she got the email about the Sky Glass stuff because I really want a new TV for the front room. I've only ever had one brand new TV. I don't know if it's the same with everybody else. It's obviously just the way I've grown up and the area that I've grown up in and stuff like that. Like TVs, you could. e- Everyone seems to have a second-hand one. Like you'd never really go and buy a brand new one because they last forever. Especially old CRTs. Like the CRTs out there that are still lasting a lot longer than like LEDs and LCD TVs or whatever. I've only ever had one brand new TV in my life, and that was about 10 years ago, and it lasted all of about 5 years. And now the TV that I've got on the wall in the front room is my mum's old one. So I do actually want a new one because I want a 4K one. But I don't know whether or not Sky was actually offering those because they give three different sizes in that. And I think we could probably get the medium size, which was 55-inch, rather than the 43, which is a small. 43 small TV being 43-inch nowadays. Like if you had a 32-inch TV in your front room, you was the fucking king of the street. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, a 55-inch one, and I think we could upgrade it, and it was like £20 a month because we are a Sky VIP customer. I think that's fairly cheap because we only have a normal Skybox entertainment thing, which I think is about £22, and then your Sky Fiber on top of that, which is maybe another £20 on top of that. But yeah, I think it's fairly cheap, the service that they was offering. I don't think it's overly expensive, but yeah, just having a TV that just has Sky built into it is yeah, I'd much rather just have a normal smart TV that have Android built into it so I can put whatever apps that I want, and then you have more a massive selection of apps that are already on there. I mean, Sky Q Box. Have you got a Sky Q Box?
Yeah, we've got Sky Q main box plus 2 mini boxes. So
And that has tons of apps on it, doesn't it?
uh,
It's not just like Sky. You can have Netflix and Amazon and Apple Plus and
yeah, so
all
all
that
we
stuff.
not that we tend to use any of that stuff because we've got smart TV as well, so it comes through that. But if you don't have a smart TV, then it is very useful. So we could just log into Netflix. So Chloe's got a Sky Q mini box in her room. If she wanted to log in and watch Netflix, she could do that on her TV, which
Yeah,
is not a smart TV kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah. Nerdrock from the Vought Sun says 65 inches, £21, I think, which is pretty good. Yeah, I agree. I don't know the specs of the TV because it didn't really give any, but I don't know if it's a 4K TV or is it like Ultra HD one. I don't know if that is
It's
4K. I
got to
don't
be
think it
4K,
is.
surely. The only things with that though is like you get like Sky. We kind of fell out with them when it came to renewing our contract because we have been with Sky forever. And it's one of those like, well, just see how long you've been a Sky customer, and then it's like 18 years. Oh fuck me. Okay, just a little bit then. But like they swizzed us last time. They changed our contract and they cut off multi room. So they would like, if you want multi room, you need to spend an extra £10-15 a month for that. If you
Yeah.
you want not HD, you want 4K. Okay, well that's an extra £7.50 a month for that, and this that and the other. So we just said, what the fuck? You told us you were giving us a better deal for sticking in for another thing. You took it all off, put it all back on now.
Yeah.
But I'm just feeling like, okay, you've got your Sky, you've got your multi room, you've got this, that, and the other, you've got that. Then you're sticking an extra 21 quid on for the glass. You're suddenly like you're looking at 150, 200 quid a month for Sky, and it's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Is that before all the sports packages and shit like that, which is criminal. If you want to watch as much football as you can, it's like £100, and that's for like BT Sport, Amazon, Sky, and then if you like golf, that's like another £15 on top of it. Like it's ridiculous, and you wonder why a lot of people are pirating football nowadays.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. But yeah, I do want a new TV, and I've just had a look at what next gen base Ben has said. Or an LG OLED. I think LG, Sony, and Samsung are probably the only three brands I'd look at, and that's not been a stop. I wouldn't if I was gonna lay down the money for a brand new TV. I don't think I was gonna go with something like a Hisense or a JVC or something like that.
I mean, Hisense, I've been told, I haven't seen it for myself, but I've been told Hisense have got some decent screens. LG is good. We've got Samsung. Oh, we have a little LG in the bedroom kind of thing, but we have Samsung just because it's same OS. So Samsung in the kitchen, Samsung in the living room. Just because it's nice, but the web OS and the smartphone compatibility on LGs and stuff is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But in terms of buying new TVs, I mean, we've done that for our last two TVs, but yeah, pretty much similar situation. We bought the one for the living room. We bought the one for the living room before that. But before that, it was like your mum's buying a new TV, so you can have her old one. So okay, well, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hisense is surprisingly great for the dollar. Yeah, definitely.
Is it really?
I-
Is it now the feeler of TVs? Like feeler was way down the and Alessi way down the pecking order, and now they seem to have made an absolute boom again.
Tell you how I know that. It was around Euro 2016. I believe Hisense were the Euro 2016. They were definitely 2020, but I'm pretty sure they were 2016 sponsors as well. And I was like, Hisense? Is that not like high tech of TVs? But like, and then it was only after having like a little bit of a conversation around it then that I realised that I was actually out of the loop. They actually are pretty decent in terms of
Yeah.
they maybe don't have the full market compatibility that the likes of a Samsung has or even LG has, but they are decent TVs, decent TVs.
I've got a PS5 there, ready and waiting to be able to play 4K games on, and I haven't had the opportunity yet. And that's something that I would like to do because there's obviously the PS4 Pros and stuff like that, which I never got a hold of last gen, shall we say? I want to be able to play some games that are in 4K at some point in my life because I don't think I actually have yet. I think I played on a PC at maybe Arcade Club, but I don't genuinely think I have played a next gen or current gen console that has 4K capabilities on a PC screen. I don't think I have.
It's definitely one of those like first time at the cinema moments. It's not the same as going to the cinema the first time, but when you sit there and you play a game in 4K with your headset on and you've got a good headset and you get the full sort of like 7.1 surround sound 4K feel, it's definitely a step up. Even playing upgraded PUBG on the PS4 Pro, going from standard to up-resed, it wasn't even full 4K-ish. That was my
Yeah.
first sort of experience on my 4K TV. I was like, wow, I actually noticed the difference here. And then when you load up like full-on next-gen 4K games, it was what was it that like it was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order gave me like a fuck. Okay, this is impressive
Yeah.
because you got the Star Wars audio plus the big screen graphics, and then obviously Spider-Man and Miles Morales on the PS5. Oosh, oosh.
Yeah. Just in time, hopefully, for Skyrim upgrade on PS5. Hopefully, I'll get one just before that.
So rewinding back off of Sky, back into where this came in, and it was Sky's crossover with Xbox and Microsoft. They're working on a Kinect-like camera. If anyone didn't have a Kinect, did you have a Kinect, babe?
I did, yeah. I mentioned before that I had a Kinect in a few games, so I had like Kinect Adventures. Rise of Nightmares was like a House of the Dead type game that you used your hands and fists for. Your feet and hands. Your hands and fists are the same thing. That was actually a pretty good game. I think I've actually still got my Kinect in there. I've definitely still got my PS4 camera. So again, back in 2000, maybe 2009, 2010. In fact, I got together with Samantha, I think, when it came out. So I think it was 2010 when the Kinect came out because she bought me a slim a slim Xbox 360, and it came bundled with it, and it was cool. I liked it. I was obviously 20 then. I'm 30 now. I don't think I'll be dancing around the front room. Give me a Guitar Hero and I'll be all over it. But having a Kinect in the front room, I think, is a little bit different. It's definitely not aimed at me anymore. It's probably aimed for families.
See, I think it was a great. It was it. No, do you know it was? I think it was a great. It was a great piece of hardware. It was an exceptionally advanced piece of hardware. The downside with it is that it came off the back of a successful. What's up? What are you chuckling at?
I've just, when you talk about stuff and a memory unlocks in your head
Yeah.
of something that happened. Like, so I remember having the Kinect in the front room, and I can't remember what FIFA it was, but it was Kinect enabled. And I've called the referee a ball cunt, and you referee, and you get a
Give
yellow
you a
card.
yellow card.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I remember that. Like, it was like I'd never seen anything like. I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't know that was the thing. So obviously, I'm playing my career mode. I'm calling someone a referee a ball cunt, and the next thing you know, yellow cards being pulled out. I was like, "What's that for? What are we carrying for?" And then obviously you realise that obviously it's Kinect enabled. It's like it's always listening. Fantastic.
Genius. But I mean that even with forgetting that, it was still an exceptional piece of hardware. You could tell it was because when it got discontinued, there was all sorts of like governmental and malicious agencies that are looking at snapping up the software and the hardware to try and use it for their sort of functions. It was an exceptional piece of kit. Didn't fully get utilized, and I think part of the issue with it is it. Particularly in the UK, living rooms in the UK aren't designed for the space needed to properly utilize Kinect. We've got a decent sized living room and we had to like push everything well back. And I remember Danielle got the Zumba game for the Kinect, and it might not have even been that. I played it with Chloe when she was like tiny. It might have been. We might have got her a Just Dance or something. But even that, there wasn't really enough room for two people for the tracking and stuff. If it was just one person doing something in a spot, you could set it up. But anything that required proper moving around, it was a little bit flawed. But even still, if you got it working, the gameplay experience worked incredibly well. Taking free kicks in one of the like Kinect party games or whatever the feck it was like, how good is this? I'm trying to bend it into the top corner and it knows. This is fucking wonderful. But then when it comes to using it for the menu stuff, it was just like, ugh. And that's where it fell off for me. It's like, I don't want to sit there and wave. I have Sky Q, and Sky Q comes with a fancy remote that's got like a little disc in the middle, and that is like a trackpad, so you can slide this whatever. We never use it. We get Sky Q. That Sky Q remote is under the TV somewhere. You also get a standard remote with up, down, left, right, and a middle button. We use that one all the time because it's quirky function, but it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. It's not the same. It's not as quick. It's a bit clunky. So if I'm having to sit there and going, Sky, just volume up, volume. No, I'm not interested. And the fact that that was on Xbox, that's what I didn't like about Xbox. But the fact that that's on TVs and stuff now, it's like, okay, you've just brought back the crap bits, which Xbox had some incredible ideas, absolutely incredible ideas at the start of the Xbox One generation. They were too advanced for their own good. The whole always online, the whole TV, and media crossover stuff got slapped, But now we're at a point where Xbox is getting subscriptions that's got an always online. You need to be online to play your Game Pass games or cloud games and this, that, and the other. And it's like, actually, do you know what? These guys were ahead of the curve. And Kinect, I think, is a little bit of that, but I'm not quite sure about having it installed into my TV in that sort of sense. Like having it as a camera that I can use for like video conferencing stuff, so I could just ring my mum on New Year's Eve and do the countdown. Hey, okay, that's pretty cool. Waving at my TV to change it over because fucking it's just flicked onto whatever followed whatever program was on before. Fucking turn it, change the channel. No, I don't want to watch this Netflix preview. I've not seen. No, back an episode. No, and it's like you look like you're attacking a fly in your living room. I'm not interested in that. It's not for me.
Yeah.
They get some great tech.
Tito makes a good point there as well.
Which one?
It was saying that that's why Gen 2 was much better, needed considerably less space. It was built for Americans where the square footage of houses were much bigger. I absolutely agree. Again, I think I might have mentioned this, but obviously I come from a very small town, and the houses aren't that big. That the front room is tiny. So even if you was to push all your chairs back, the room that you'd have in the front room wasn't necessarily probably big enough to be able to register the square footage required, especially if you was doing like used to like UFC trainer and stuff like that, where you could probably do all your exercise. That you used to mention about the Zumba and things and Just Dance. Like the camera was far too close to you to be able to read your inputs properly. So yeah, I think that's probably it probably wasn't the best over here, or especially in my area anyway. Like your houses just weren't big enough.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we've got a decent sized living room, and it still kind of was push for space as well. If I was playing it at home, then there's absolutely no way. I say home being my mum's house, then there was absolutely no way that I would have been able to play it in there because there just wouldn't have been the space for it. Nerd Rock from the Sun says, I queued at a rainy midnight launch for the original Kinect. Worst decision in a life of poor decisions. See, I agree. And I also don't agree in terms of, I think you're probably right. I had the Kinect. I think Danielle got it me for Christmas, and I maybe played it 5 times. When I had it out and I butchered the house and finally got it working and stuff, I played it for a good stint, but then put it away and I thought I can't be bothered doing all that again. So I didn't. So it was a great experience, but yeah, it was not worth the hassle overall. Back to Tito's comment that you just mentioned. That's why Gen 2 was better. Needed considerably less space. It was built in America where square footage of houses is bigger. They never thought of European space. Exactly. As for the Sky Q remotes, I turn off the touchpad. Annoying as fuck. I didn't even know you could turn it off.
Wait, there's a touchpad and Sky Q remote?
Yeah, that's the little disc bit in the middle. You get two remotes. You get the Sky remote and then you get the Sky Q remote. And the Sky Q one's...
The Sky Q one with the microphone. You can press it and you're talking to it.
Yeah, like...
I didn't know there's a touchpad on it.
Yeah, it's like a... you've got two remotes. You've got the one that, as I was saying, has got the up, down, left, right, and the central button, but then one of them that's got like a disc on it. It's like a trackpad that you slide your finger around to
I've
do
never
stuff.
seen that one.
Yeah, we put it away under the TV. When the Sky installer, the engineer came in, he was like telling us how good it is, and he said, "I'd be surprised if you're still using it in a week and a half." Though I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We've got it at home, obviously, because we're engineers and stuff, but we gave up on it after a week because it was just frustrating. We just went to the other ones, and we did the same thing."
I didn't even know we had one. That's how little. Like we've got Sky Q downstairs in the front room, and we've got one of the multi boxes in the bedroom, and they're both the same. The lifesaver is speaking into your remote. Disney Plus, Netflix, love that shit.
Oh, I don't even use the voice stuff anymore. It just comes up and it's usually like, "What the fuck is this?" And they just see the words going up on the screen. Oh no, that's not. No. You look like that fun screensaver where the guy's cleaning the screen from the inside. Yeah, just getting that in the corner. It's just yeah, there you go. Anyway, slightly different in terms of space. Had the Kinect set up in my lounge in my flat and invited a few mates over for some drunk Kinect sports. The only problem was that I had a low ceiling. My mate chucked a javelin, twatted the ceiling, nearly broke his hand. Snap! Out. It's like the old Wiimote injuries where people were lobbing Wiimotes and stuff through the TVs back in the day. Don't do it.
I smashed a lampshade with that.
Do you know what? If you'd have smashed an Xbox controller, then you'd have been all right because there's a new one on the market. This is an absolute segue into the next news.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is the next news story. Chris Scullion at VGC has this one. It says Microsoft's 20th anniversary Xbox controller has been revealed. Early update, new special edition controller and headset officially revealed. So a 20th anniversary controller being teased by Xbox has appeared on the Best Buy website. Microsoft has been posting tweets with the controller shrouded in darkness, but the Best Buy listing shows the controller fully lit. Unlucky. The official Xbox Twitter account posted a photo of the darkened controller on Wednesday with the message 20 years of play in your hands, but it was impossible to see any detail. Update. Microsoft has officially announced the 20th anniversary special edition Xbox controller alongside a special edition Xbox stereo headset, both of which will launch on November the 15th and are available to pre-order now for 60 quid. When players connect the controller to an Xbox Series X and S console, they will unlock an exclusive dynamic background pictured below. This can be unlocked on any console the pad is used with. But once another background is chosen, the 20th anniversary one will no longer be available unless the special edition controller is reconnected. Original story continues. So the Best Buy listing, however, clearly shows the controller and provides a description of it. Quote, inspired by the styles and innovations of the past, this 20th anniversary special edition Xbox wireless controller brings you the best of the last 20 years, the listing reads. It features a transparent black design with vibrant green details that stay true to Xbox's signature style, while thoughtfully designed buttons and a hybrid D-pad enable precision tactical gameplay. As well as the green Xbox button, the controller features green back grips for more comfortable play. The 20th anniversary controller is the latest in a line of special edition controllers Microsoft has released since the launch of it's fine, we get it, they've launched some special edition stuff, but this one is pretty cool, and I also really like the idea of plugging the controller in and it giving you like some snazzy limited edition special, only get this background wallpaper sort of stuff. That's pretty cool. Anyway, babe, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a cool looking controller. I think we've seen something completely different yesterday with the trainers, which were god awful. Like, I don't think I could ever see myself wearing them. If I had the opportunity to own a pair, they would just be for a collector's edition, maybe go on the shelf behind me. But in terms of this controller, I love the look of this. Black and green is such a nice color combo, especially when it's just tinges of green rather than it being the main color like the trainers was yesterday. This is a cool controller, and I think Ben's already mentioned in the chat that this is something that he has already paid good money for, as he wants this in his collection.
I just put the controller back on screen. I just looked at the chat when you said that. I got distracted. Has Graham got a decent sized living room, by the way? Someone's doing well for themselves. Well, that's what it is. I mean, I've had to invest in a decent sized living room because I wanted a good sized living room. I could only afford decent because all of the money that we had from all of the subs has been spent on Bibby's Lambo collection. Sadly, he got there first. God damn it. Looks like something Razer would release, says Nietzsche. I haven't seen the trainers,
Agreed.
but a man who has a flat peak has no say on fashion.
Fucking had enough of this. How do I refund his subscriptions? Sick of it.
Don't even want the extra Lambo. Go, take it back. Take it back. I have 3 series controllers already: a Series S, a Series X, and a red one. I don't need this, but I need it. This does look good, though. This does look like a controller that I could get behind. I mean, some of the controllers that Xbox, like, I sit there, and that's when you realize you're an old man. Because, like, you'll see Xbox release something, you'll be like, "Ooh, yeah, I need that bad boy. Yeah, get him, put that in my basket." Yeah, all of that stuff. But usually, like, over the last few months, Xbox has been like, "Here's a pearlescent duck egg blue and baby green mixed controller with an orange accent," and everyone's like, "Oh," and I'm like, that looks fucking hideous. How are people liking this? I mean, there have been some that have looked quite nice, but a lot of them I'm thinking, nope. But this one is just so simplistic, Xbox nailed on for me that I can get behind that. I'm on board with this style, this design. Not that I'm going to get one because I don't have an Xbox, not a series console anyway. But it does look decent. I like the fact that they've stayed true to the core. Simple black green Xbox. It's going to work with the Series X console. Nice, decent, but yeah, it's much better, as you say, than the column inches marketing. So getting Adidas to give you some trainers is purely about the column inches. It's look at the cool stuff that we're doing. Look, we're friends with Adidas. Me and old Adidas over here. Yeah, we're going to make some more trainers as well. I mean, you can't buy them. It's not for you. It's just to look at. Some people will win a competition, but no, you can't buy them. Whereas the stuff that's more open to the market, being safer for the market, is a good plan for me. I like it. I do like it. So GG's. Decent sized living room and a sex barn. Don't forget, that's true. Sex barn. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know the sex barn references, I'm not going to explain it to you either. So there you go. You just have to wonder. Let's move ahead though. Enough of the sex barn. Enough of the Microsoft controllers. Let's start talking about PlayStation. Did you get involved with the Play at Home program at all, babe?
I did, I think. Well, the thing is, the benefit of us being content creators, that we tend to get a lot of games come our way, so it's quite difficult to be able to fit them all in. So I genuinely can't remember what I played last year.
It's actually pretty funny though, because you went, "I did," and then there was that "I think," sort of like change of tone, which is exactly my sentiments, 100%. So if you didn't know what that is, Joshua Robertson at The Gamer has this that says PlayStation's Play at Home program saw players redeem 60 million games. A lot of people downloaded PlayStation games to get them through lockdown. So during the height of the pandemic, PlayStation offered up a selection of free to download games as part of a Play at Home program to tempt people to stay indoors. High-profile titles such as Horizon Zero Dawn and Ratchet & Clank, as well as a bunch of indies, were offered to PlayStation users for free to keep without the need for a PlayStation Plus subscription. It's now been revealed just how successful that program actually was. In a video interview with GamesIndustry.biz, PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan claims that a whopping 60 million games have been downloaded thanks to the Play at Home program, introducing potentially millions of people to brand new experiences. Excuse me. According to Ryan, he is proud that the company was able to offer the games to people during such a difficult period and that PlayStation is happy with the results. Quote, "As everybody was struggling with the first lockdown, we thought it would be a nice thing to do and we were very happy with the reaction," explains Ryan. "Then we got through Christmas and started lockdown again and it was a bit miserable, so we thought it would be nice to it would be a nice thing to reprise. So we did it again over a period of months and over 60 million games have been downloaded as a part of that." When asked whether the Play at Home program would return for a third time, Ryan explains that we'll have to see how the world evolves and hints that Play at Home may make a return if another lockdown was to occur. "We might get free games, but just the thought of another lockdown is enough to send a shiver up anyone's spine." I mean, obviously, you also get the fact that Ice Cream uploads are on the stream each and every single weekday, so there's that too. Anyway, in other PlayStation-related news, Sony is removing the option to purchase games from the PS3 and PS Vita via credit card or PayPal. Interesting. We will leave that there, though, because that's not really on the subject at hand. Play at Home, a lockdown initiative created by PlayStation to give those locked down the ability to escape with some video games. 60 million people, or at least 60 million games, were downloaded during that period. What are your thoughts, babe? Any thoughts, babe? No.
Sorry, I think Discord, because you put your voice so low, Discord just cut it off, and I thought it was just dead. Anyway,
I wonder,
yeah.
that's got to be a setting at your end, that, because I never have that with anyone else that I'm speaking to on Discord. So I've turned off all of my voice stuff. So that's got to be something on.
Maybe I haven't got noise suppression on or anything, so that's very bizarre. But anyway, yes, I do actually remember because we did actually stream, or I streamed Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
my voice is going now.
You fucking did. Yeah. Honestly, Graham can't have a day where he's losing his voice without baby
Christ.
jumping in and getting involved.
Oh God, I'll be snorting Bulbasaur in a bit. Yeah, I did actually. I did stream Ratchet and Clank last year. So yes, I did get involved with this. I actually looked at the other games, and it was Subnautica and Astrobot Rescue Room, which I think was the VR version of it. So yeah, I did. We did as a collective, Ice Cream Uploads, get involved with the downloads. I did obviously download Horizon Zero Dawn. I've still yet to play that game, even though everyone tells me it's absolutely amazing and one of the best games for PlayStation 4 ever.
Same.
But yeah,
I'm still 2 hours and still yet to break the back of that. Yeah, the first 2 hours are the sort of churn bit, and I did it, but then gave up. I got through the churn bit, and I thought, okay, maybe it's going to go into somewhere, but I just didn't continue. So now when I go back into it, I'm going to have to play the first 2 hours again to realize what the fuck happened. So
yeah.
In the chats, West saying, do you know, I can't quite hear that. It's one of our subscriber remotes that not only animates, but it has an audible version that sounds a little bit like this.
Hopefully my voice will remain intact, but hello.
I was waiting for a
yeah. I give myself a little
good morning, West, or afternoon even, by the way now. Happy World Egg Day, everyone. It is World Egg Day. And by chance, me and Danielle decided to have boiled eggs for breakfast. But we were like, should we have some egg butties? Do we go for sandwich? Do we get some? In the end, we decided, you know what, sack the carbs. Let's just have some boiled eggs. I love just a boiled egg with salt, a salted boiled egg. So we got a bowl of boiled eggs, and then I saw West's so we're sat there with a bowl with just eggs in it, just looking like, I mean, really nice meal, but looking like paupers. And then West's there with his was it a poached egg, on some sort of like nice whole meal granary sort of nice toast, did the whole cut of the egg and the spreading of the yolk look exceptional, and they're like, here's a picture of one egg with some salt on it. Ta-da! So yeah, there you go. Nietzsche saying happy birthday, mate. West saying it's not my birthday, but Nietzsche says, yeah, but it's World Egg Day. Surely that's the equivalent of your birthday. Touche. It's even better than my birthday. Best day of the year. Baby's doing his best Pat Butcher impression today. Oh, I bet. Gron, Phil. Gron. Oh, I bet. Good work, Mr. Day. Boiled for 6 minutes and then thrown on cold water to keep the yolk runny. See, I'm one of those awkward people where someone goes, do you want your yolk runny or not? I'm like, middling. I mean, if I'm having like a dippy egg, then that's a bit different. But like middling, because I want it in a sandwich, and I don't want just one dry yolk on one bit of my sandwich. But I don't want a sandwich that's like a yolk that's just going to run down my front either. So I want it kind of like, I want runny but thick, like gravy texture. How your gravy should be. If your gravy's like a runny egg, then your gravy's wrong. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just the northern in me. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for agreeing.
It's all right, mate. I'm not a fan of eggs, to be honest, but West, your breakfast looks sublime. It did look really good. I fucking love eggs. Boiled, fried, poached, scrambled, on a burger, yes, whatever, in a pizza, covered in ketchup, dropped in a tin of tomato soup, sprinkled with beans. Oh, yes, please. That's how everyone eats their eggs, right? Right. Anyway, enough of that. See, look at Bibby's face. He doesn't look particularly excited. He looks happy enough to be here. He doesn't look exceptionally excited. I was
just hoping that you didn't hear next door. They are hammering.
I bet they are.
I don't know if it's each other. But I'm hoping. I'm gonna have to mute your mic again because it's going a bit wild.
Well, that's not what I was meaning. Actually, Bibby looks delightfully content to be on the scoop. Okay, imagine that face with an injection of excitement. I don't know whether you know this, but Bibby is our resident evil expert. He's a big fan. Have
what
you
makes
seen?
You say that?
I don't know. Clicks on the big bib scene. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it anyway. I'm in the fucking way. Move, Graham. Get out the way. Yeah, there's Resident Evil posters there. I'm in the way. But back to the split. Have you seen the trailer for Welcome to Raccoon City?
I have.
See, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay.
I was only because I was in the office yesterday and it came out like end of the day, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that. Oh shit, I need to get my stuff done. I need to finish to leave go home. I'm gonna watch that, and then I didn't, and then I got home, and then yeah, I've not watched it. So
I
we
think you
want
might be able to, you know.
what on stream?
Let me just skip forward. I can't remember hearing anything that is copyright material in it, so let me just skip forward as you're reading it.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna allow the functional cookies on this website. Save preferences. There we go. Okay, I will bring the article up. We'll see whether we can actually watch the video for now. But a new Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer has been released, says the main body of the text. The article is written by Tom Ivan at VGC. The title says, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer shows off the rebooted film franchise. The movie hits cinemas on November 24th. So back into the body of the article. A new Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer has been released, hitting cinemas on November 24th. Welcome to Raccoon City is a reboot of the Resident Evil film franchise. It features an origin story faithful to the first two entries in Capcom's survival horror series. Taking place on a fateful night in Raccoon City in 1998, the film is written and directed by, is it Johannes Roberts? Johannes Roberts,
Yeah.
who did 47 Meters Down. It stars Kea Scodelario, who was the dodgy girl from Maze Runner, as Claire Redfield, Hannah John Kamen from Ant-Man and the Wasp as Jill Valentine, Robbie Amell from Upload as Chris Redfield, Tom Hopper from the Umbrella Academy as Albert Wesker, Evan Jogia from Zombieland Double Tap, also victorious if you was a Nickelodeon kid, by the way, and as Leon S. Kennedy, and Neil McDonough from Yellowstone as William Birkin. Quotes, with this film, I really wanted to go back to the original first two games and the associated terrifying experience that I had when I first played them, Roberts said when the film was announced. And at the same time, I'm telling the story of a small, dying American town that will appear both familiar and relevant to today's audiences. The previous 6 Resident Evil movies, which were all written and or directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starred Mila Jovovich, is that how you pronounce it? Jovovich?
Yeah.
MJ, grossed $1.2 billion at the global box office following the first one's release in 2002. Constantine film producer Robert Kulzer, who also worked on these films, said previously, after a dozen games, 6 live-action films, and hundreds of pages of fan fiction, we felt compelled to go back to 1998 to explore the secrets that lay within the walls of the Spencer Mansion and hidden from Raccoon City. Do you know what? I'm going to stop before I ask Bibby his thoughts, because no doubt he's got a lot to input, but that is just beautiful for me, because the previous 6 Resident Evil movies with all of the history and blah, 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 just by the end of it, I genuinely didn't care. I did not care. The first film was exceptional. After that, it didn't really do a great, in my opinion, service to the films. And I don't know about video games, because I've not really played through the video games, but I would assume that if the films were that or meh, that they probably weren't great for the video games either. So starting out fresh again without that history, weighting it down, that's a good thing for me. But that's my instant assumption. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, the trailer is decent. The CGI, obviously, I've been back and I've watched the Resident Evil films very recently, actually. I'd probably say about 2 months ago, I binged them all again. The first one does not hold up very well. Storyline wise, it's brilliant. I think it's probably one of the better ones. Apart from Extinction, I love that one.
You're
Extinction
all
was
going to
more.
die down here.
Yes, mate.
Is it Red Queen?
But
Is that what it's
Extinction,
called?
yeah, Red Queen, yeah, yeah. Extinction was more like Walking Dead-ish than anything else, because obviously the whole world has been pillaged and everything was dying, so it was all deserty. But the first one was, the storyline's good. It's just the CGI is horrific. When you first see the liquor, you're like, "Oh my god,
Lacquer,
we're
that's what
continuing
it
this."
is.
It's terrible. Like it just hasn't held up very well whatsoever. It's interesting to see a very, very young Michelle Rodriguez in that as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
she went on to do some other films and became quite big as well. We're not going to talk about any of those films.
Other films that
And
had
obviously,
exceptional video games as well. like, yeah, never mind.
obviously, she did make an appearance towards the end of the series as well. I think it was the last one or second to last one she was in. So yeah, kind of come full circle with that. But this looks different. in terms of the CGI actually looks quite good, especially on the liquor. And I assume it's Lisa Trevor that's in there from the first one. But what I don't get is that they've bundled both of the games because they wanted to try and cover the games together, whereas there was like 2.5 months between the incident that was happening at the Spencer Mansion, as well as the incident that was happening in Raccoon City, like with Leon and Claire. So I don't know how they're interlinking them two together. Because obviously there was a breach at the Spencer Mansion, which is obviously why he got put into Raccoon City down the road. So I'm interested to see how they put these two together. Obviously, it's not going to be one for one, but the Spencer Mansion looks so good, man. And I just want to see inside the RPD because obviously done a lot of work to try and replicate what they did in the games to try and make it as true as possible to those, which I'm all for because that's something that the films never really did. Apart from the second one, Apocalypse, Nemesis looked badass in that. Like he was really, really good. But yeah, interesting to see where the direction of this one goes. I don't necessarily think that the characters look that much. I think the Chris Redfield character probably looks the closest to what we saw in the games. But just because they don't look like him doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad film. I just hope that the characters portray the personality well enough for it to be taken as a Resident Evil film. Because like Leon and Chris, Wentworth Miller was Chris in the other Resident Evil films, and that was a terrible casting choice. I do love Wentworth Miller in terms of his Prison Break stuff. He isn't Chris Redfield. I'm not, and I don't know. I can't remember who it was that played Leon. That was horrific, and the guy who played Joe mate Barry Burton as well. I don't see that being as close as it possibly could be. Ada Wong was okay. Jill, nothing like it. Claire, nothing like it. So yeah, they've got a lot to work on. I think if they want to try and convince people to go and watch this film, because yeah, it's coming after a really bad run of the other films.
I saw a comment. I can't remember who it was from. Actually, it was just someone that I follow on Twitter, and it was the summary was, I like the casting, apart from, and I can't remember if it was Leon or Chris, and I probably don't remember because I don't have an opinion on either really, because I've seen both of those people in things. I've not seen Upload, which is what Robbie ML's most famous for. You said it's a decent
Brilliant that.
watch.
Yeah, it's very good. Upload.
Who would, I mean, do you have an issue with either of those castings?
Again, just because they don't look like him doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's going to be a bad film. The characters all possess a personality, and if they can get the personality right of the characters that they're meant to be portraying, I can let the looks slide slightly. It's like imagine if there was to bring out a Duke Nukem film and the person who was portraying Duke Nukem didn't have Duke Nukem's personality, it wouldn't work, would it? So I can't let it slide if they don't possess the personality that people had in the games because Leon's obviously did change after the first one because he was a rookie cop in America, first day on the job, and he was in his early 20s. And then obviously as the games progressed, he was getting older and older. So obviously his personality would change after being in a zombie apocalypse in the middle of Raccoon City. So yeah, I imagine it would change. But again, if they are going to be basing this off of the games, the personality of the characters that they're portraying has to be one for one. Otherwise, it will not work.
In terms of the actual trailer, then,
Yeah.
do you think it's safe enough to watch?
After about I think it's like 45 seconds in, there is a version of a song. I don't know if it's not the original; it's a cover version. I don't know whether or not that will flag it, but that is the only way that it would be flagged if it is, because it is a cover version of the original song.
Do you know what? Just because it's, I mean, we're already over time anyway, and the fact that the trailer's 2.5 minutes, I will leave that one off. I
Yeah,
think
I'll drop it in the chat for you guys to make your own decisions on.
What is your thoughts from looking at the trailer then? Do you think it looks good in terms of that? Are you excited for it? Do you think obviously you've mentioned the fact that combining the two stories together could be like a questionable potentially.
Yeah.
What are your overall thoughts?
I'm obviously going to go and watch this film because again, it's portraying the video game series that I adore the most. So I will be all in anyway. I mean, if I've given the chance to go back and watch the other 6 Resident Evil films, and this one is an absolute must. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the Spencer Mansion looks like fully, and I can't wait to see what they are. But that's the things I'm looking forward to the most because for me, they are the most iconic places within Resident Evil itself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those in like super detail and seeing what the CGI is because this is all going to be it's going to live and die by the CGI. I mean, if I was to skip forward and so you can see it for yourself where the liquor comes out. If you want to mute this bit, it's 2 minutes and 8 seconds in.
Is that a spoiler for the trailer though?
Well, it's based on a video game, so if you don't know Resident Evil video game, then I don't think this film's probably going to be for you.
Let's have a butchers. Whoop. 2 minutes. 6. Mute.
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, okay. This is the worst quality. Okay. I like the. Do you know? I actually like the fact that it's smaller. It's like super bad, even though that's 10. Oh, it's coming out. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
It's infinitely better than what we got with the first Resident Evil film, and what Ben says there doesn't punch a boulder, not my Chris. But yeah, I mean, I'm all in for this. I'm willing to give any kind of Resident Evil IP the once over. You may not end up getting my business or my view ever again from that particular game or film or whatever, but I'm more than happy to give everything one.
I'm on board for this, very, very much so. More than I am for video games. In terms of a lot of my issues with not Resident Evil, with a lot of video games that have history is that the history needs to be satisfied. You need to honor the prequel, honor what happened before. If you're the fifth film in the series, then you've got a lot of baggage, a lot of things that are maybe inside jokes, or you just need to understand the storyline. Metal Gear is another one that is obviously that sort of thing. I went along with the journey of Metal Gear, so that's fine by me. Resident Evil, I didn't. I played early bits and then dropped off. So
yeah,
the same thing like with the films. If you get to Resident Evil 12 or whatever the latest one of the films, it was only the 6, but I feel like the films had kind of like the Saw films. Saw started off and was like, it was big, bizarre, oh my god, there's guts and blood and gore and everything. And then how do we do that better in 2? Okay, the same, but more gore and blood and guts and more fantastical ways of... And I felt like Resident Evil kind of got like that. By the end of it, it was like watching Jurassic Park of zombies, and I was just like, there's bits of the story that I don't know. There's all these underlying, almost politics stuff put into it now. I just want a good zombie like action flick.
Yeah.
Give me Michael Bay, but with zombies and Resident Evil, yes please. And the fact that they're starting again means all of that stuff has just been dropped and they can go again. So I'm very excited from this. Just give us a decent enough story that doesn't try too hard to satisfy the video game fans as such.
Yeah.
Turn that video game story into a great film. And that's like in the same way that a lot of films or video games that get made into TV series and stuff have been bad because they're trying too much to honor it, or they go so far away from it but then have a cheesy tie-in like Doom where it suddenly goes into first person in the Rock film a million years ago kind of thing. Do it justice by doing it right, and if they can do that, then I'd be excited. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch this one. Definitely going to watch this.
I think it's going to be great.
I like the sound of Frosty's hitting your plate.
Fucking hell. Please tell me this is... Oh no, we've still got Free Game Friday.
Yeah, Free Game Friday is the only bit that's left. Before that though, let me jump in this because I can't leave this behind. Talking about eggs, jumping back up. Ad says thick and all over. I'm assuming he's on about us there, babe, but I don't really know. But Fatman Dave says World Egg Day. I'm gonna have some sausage and egg sarnies with tomato sauce. Yeah. Unless they're Easter or Cadbury's, then I'm not really entertaining them. Says Nietzsche. Wes says at least that means you're not putting ketchup on them, Nietzsche. Unlike Mr. Day who ruins eggs. I don't put ketchup in my eggs. On my eggs, I put it in my eggs as well. Omelette with ketchup in the middle. Tito says, eggs sighted, better get cracking, must be running out of time. Sorry for the bad puns and yolks. Oh dear. Nietzsche says, Tito, I think your Uber's just arrived. Tito says, no Uber for me, I need the exercise. Hey! I was watching that unfold in the chat as we were talking about that Resi article. Tom Hopper is also the name of Lincoln City's number 9. Makes me double take every time. Do you know when I read that in the chat, I had Fat Man Scoop in my mind. I genuinely thought, Tom Hopper, number 9. Makes me double take every time when my train goes off the track. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Free Game Friday. Didn't quite. Oh no, that's me. Didn't quite work yet. Nietzsche redeemed disco lights, and I still haven't logged into Lumia, which is a good job because there was another update for Lumia stream this morning, so it didn't work. So I changed the lights in your honor, but gave you your points back because it wasn't fair to take them off you for that. Initially, I saw the top of the head as a bad wig, Bruce Forsyth style, rather than exposed brains. You never know. I'm here all week, unfortunately for you all. It's all right. You can join us with your bad puns, and I will bring bad singing, and Bibby will bring stories about lycra-clad men, just as you like it. A bit of spandex.
Yeah,
loves it. Final story of the day, though. Tom Ivan at VGC says, next week's Epic Games Store freebies have been revealed. Stubbs, the zombie in Rebel without a pulse, and Paladin's Epic Pack. I couldn't work out what that was saying then. Anyway, next week's Epic Games Store freebies have been announced. So Stubbs, the zombie in Rebel without a pulse, what a name, and Paladin's Epic Pack will be free to download from October the 14th to the 21st. They will replace PC Building Simulator, which normally costs 15 quid, but is currently free to download until October the 14th. Yeah, we don't need to go through all of the legal battle stuff that they fill out the article with. We can just leave it as that. So if you want some free games, not necessarily the headline games this time, but free nonetheless, Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse and Paladin's Epic Pack, as you can both see on screen there, are the free games this week. All you need to have is a PC and Epic Games Store. I would 100%, I say this all the time, no spawn, no ad, 100% recommend that you download and install the Epic launcher because you just get free games every week. Some of them you might want to miss. Some of them are unmissable, like GTA 5 and stuff like that. So make sure you get the free games. Do it. Get them installed. And on that bombshell, we are done. Thank you very much for sticking around for a full week of Scoops from home without an episode on one day. One man Dollops in the studio with technical hitches and now back at home. We know it's been all over the place, but we appreciate you guys coming around nonetheless. We are trying to bed in how we deliver Ice Cream Uploads content for you whilst going back into the office environment. Because obviously with us being in the office, that includes travel time. We've obviously got full work days and stuff. So the amount of content that we will be able to bring you has dropped, or the potential has dropped. So that's why we've just brought you the Scoops this week. We're going to figure out how we can do that while still giving you some additional content too. Because obviously you guys have joined us just this last week playing things like Insurgency Sandstorm and stuff. So yeah, we want to keep bringing you the content. We just need to figure out what our schedule looks like now. You can guarantee though that you will still keep getting the Scoops. So we will be live 5 days a week minimum, each and every single weekday, 10 a.m.-ish. With the Scoop. But before we go away and sort all of that stuff, we are going to drop a raid on one of our friends. Do feel free to stick around for the raid. You will get channel points and you will be able to help make their day. But before we even consider that, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for each and every one of us that have supported us this week. Nietzsche again giving out gifties. The rest of you guys giving out gifties and resubscribing. Very much appreciated. But that is the end of the Scoops for this week. We still have 5 left to go next week. So if you want to help shape those shows, there's 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you will require will be listed there for you. But all we need from you is URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time on Monday, Mr. Graham Day?
On Monday, just like every other day, we aim to be live at 10 a.m.
Ish. 10 a.m. Ish.
Anyway,
just
10 a.m. ish. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, nice, exactly. 10 a.m. ish. We will be doing the Scoop from home. Then Tuesday, we will be back in the studio. So do feel free to join us on Monday and Tuesday so you can see both sides of the Scoop. Yeah, do it. Do it. But for now, though, as mentioned, we are going to drop a raid on one of our friends. Do stick around for the raid. You never know. We may be back later on this afternoon, later on this evening, over the weekend with additional content. The best way to find out when we do go live next, when it's not for the Scoop, is to drop a follow on the channel. So make sure, if you are new here, do what Nerd Rock from the Sun did just an hour ago and drop a follow. That way you do get notified each time we go live on Twitch, be it for the Scoop, be it for some big events, or be it for some just fun times and games and chills. Do it. Ish. I need that 10 a.m. emoji. We actually do need a 10 a.m. To be fair, we hit 100 subs the other day, thanks to Nietzsche and all of the posse for throwing down the extra subs, which gave us an extra emote slot that we didn't even plan to have. So we will have space for one more, so we can make a 10 a.m. You never know. You never know. Jack, thank you very much for dropping in for the lurk, although we are going to drop you on someone else because we're just wrapping up now. But I appreciate you being a dude. Fatman Scoop is if I ever guessed. GG's. On that bombshell, have a lovely day, though. We could be back later on with some gameplay. If not, we will see you Monday, 10 a.m. ish. Until then, have a good day. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.